I think what happened is that we were all procedural, and then we got really excited about serialization, and like all American television, they went totally all the way one way. And we're kind of just balancing it back out. And I learned to write comics from Keith Giffen, and he always taught me, like, not continuity, but coherence. Like, you don't have to make sure you see every single episode, but when you bomb in, you understand what's going on. And like I said after the screening, if you just want to show up and see the biggest, most badass, high-concept show of the week, great, you're there. But if you pay attention and you start seeing the hints, and we actually dropped a giant hint to how old the game is right in the middle of the pilot, in the line of charities, and how old it is, and how they figured out how to do what they're doing. It's right there. It's like I've got a spotlight on it. If you pay attention over that season, we want you to be able to figure it out just a little bit ahead of us. We want the audience engaged to go like, oh wait, they're not pulling this out of their ass. I mean, predictive policing exists. The character that Charity Wakefield's playing, Cassandra, is really just Jessica Chastain's character in Zero Dark 30 if she'd broken bad. We do profiling, we do predictive stuff, we have people whose job it is. The House's edges, they have the best data in the world because they were there when they built the infrastructure. And they're not hacking. She doesn't have to go, oh, look, I'm hacking. They just have all the passwords. But one of the fun themes of the show is, data is not information, is not knowledge. And she can get you all the data you want. It's up to Alex to figure out what to do with it and then figure out how to use that to stop the crime of the week. But yeah, a lot of the fun for me is I want a show where it's like, and even on Leverage, we called them The Job, right? This show is a great degree. I want people to go, it was the one where they X, much like X-Files. It was the one where they, the one with the fluke monster, the one where Mr. X gets shot. I want that standalone quality for each one. And sometimes it'll be the plot lines, and sometimes it'll be the stunts, because it is, having Phil and Wesley who can do all their own stuff is amazing. That's Phil on the motorcycle through that whole sequence. That's Phil coming off the van. There's very few stunt sequences in that where it's not him. We really want to make sure you get one thing a week where you go, oh, damn, they did not just do that on TV. Yeah. And we've got Michael Bassett, who directed Strike Back, coming in for the first episode. So, you know what they've done on no budget, imagine what they can do on a network budget. Yeah.
How was Wesley cast, and what does it kind of bring to you?
Well, Wesley was cast because we were saying this character, we want him to be charismatic, because half the time you should think he's a bad guy and half the time you think he's a good guy. And he has a history. He's not just some dude in a suit. He walks amongst the most powerful people in the world, and they're kind of terrified of him. And we kept coming back to, like that presence, that menace that looks good in a suit, like the way Wesley Snipes used to play these guys in the night action. And finally Sony said, we can call Wesley. And what we didn't know is he's a giant Blacklist fan. Like, he is a giant fanboy Blacklist fan. And so when we called him, he was like, oh, the Blacklist guys, yeah, I'm thinking about TV now because I love the show. And then he came in and we explained him the whole history of the character. We explained Mr. Johnson is a member of a very powerful organization with a very weird structure. It's not settled. They don't settle stuff with like memos and shit. So he is doing a lot of investigating of that conspiracy. He's doing a lot of power management. He's the guy who goes out and gets the data for Cassandra to figure out what crime is happening next. So we needed a guy who can walk amongst all the worlds. And like you saw in the pilot, we needed a guy who can land a joke. Mr. Johnson doesn't work dry. He doesn't work just like, I'm scary. He's got to be that whole sequence with Cal when he's going to get him out of the interrogation room. It's really funny, and Wesley's really funny, and that adds to that character. It's just not a straight man, I'm an old character actor dude. This is a guy who, like in every episode, has one laugh out loud moment. But sometimes it's like, oh, he's going to kill me now, but it's still that. So he just gave us everything. He gave us more than we originally thought when we went into the character, which is always great with casting.
And what is the infrastructure you talked about when they get their data? Is there actually a big computer program out there that's available or just?
I think a computer program's simplistic. I think that basically what they did is they built backdoors into a lot of stuff. They've got a very complicated system to analyze it, but again, you need human beings. You need human beings to analyze it and figure it out. Notice I said human beings, not human being. So the house is a lot bigger than it looks, and part of the fun of the show is unraveling that, how big the conspiracy is and where it goes and why it was formed. But it's a mix of, you can never beat human intelligence. So, you know, you'll have episodes where Mr. Johnson goes someplace because he hears something hinky's going on. He half charms and half kicks ass his way in, and when he gets to the data, he gives it back to Cassandra, and she's like, oh, that money went there, that guy took that, he's come to America, I know what that means. Just like regular profiling works. But they're just doing it on a much higher level.
What are you most excited about for the fans to be drawn into?
Well, I think there's three things. One, it's just the character dynamics. All the actors are really fond of each other. There's already, you can tell the little rhythms are setting up, the little dynamics are setting up. There are three characters who don't like or trust each other from like moment one, and so that's a lot better than, hey, we're a crime-fighting team. It's like any one of these people could kill each other at any episode. And I think right in the middle of the season, they actually take a pretty good run at it. Two, for me, is I'm looking forward to unraveling the characters. There's a lot more to Mr. Johnson. And we're playing with the tropes a little. Oh, Charity, Cassandra, she's the girl behind the screens. No, she's not. She comes out from behind the screens very quickly, and you realize that maybe Alex is the least dangerous of these three human beings. And the big thing with the stunts and the action is the conspiracy, is the fun of there's a world for the audience to crack and unravel. And they'll obsess. And look, you can't outwit them. They're smarter than you, and there's more of them. But you can throw them stuff that'll make the game fun to play. All right, I gotta go. All right. Thank you so much, guys.